Good morning. My name is Ariel Tabson, and I am the Public Information Officer for the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Welcome to Talking Traffic Safety. This episode will focus on our teen driver safety program called Reduce TN Crashes. Sorry, my hair's getting a little crazy. Okay. We are arriving live to you from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office's Facebook page. So feel free to explore this page and look for all the traffic safety information and resources that we have available for you that are helpful for you. Today, we will hear from guest speakers serving as subject matter experts. I will serve as your moderator by presenting topics and questions for our experts to discuss. If you would like to participate, please submit your questions in the comments section below. Each question I mention will appear on the screen. If we don't get to your question during the show, email info@tntrafficsafety.org so we can answer you. Thank you again for joining us. We're so excited to be here today. So let's go ahead and introduce our panel. Our first guest is Corporal Jesse James from the Cheatham County Sheriff's Office. Welcome, Jesse. Tell us about you and what you do. Unmute. I'm sorry, Jesse, I apologize. We still have you on mute, so I'm gonna have Joe, there we go. All right.
I gotcha.
Sorry about that.
Thanks
go ahead, Jesse,
today.
tell us about you.
Thanks for having me. First of all, I'm a corporal with the Cheatham County Sheriff's Office. I'm also a supervisor over 13 SROs within our school district here in Cheatham County. I've got 20 years of law enforcement experience. I'm also a field training officer here in Cheatham County. I'm also a SRO practitioner and also a hostage negotiator within the SWAT team.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. We're so excited to have a law enforcement perspective on what we're going to discuss. So let's go ahead and introduce our next speaker, who is Robert Moxley. He's the Southeast Tennessee Road Team Captain Ambassador with the Tennessee Trucking Foundation. Welcome, Robert. Tell us about you and what you do.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Yes, I'm a Tennessee Road Team Foundation Trucking Ambassador, and I drive a big truck for Titan Transfer, and I've been working there for 15 years and have 2.5 million safe miles of driving a big truck up and down the road every day.
Awesome. It's a pleasure to have you as well as our speaker. Let's go ahead and introduce our third speaker, who is Miss McMinnville Teen USA, Grace Sparkman from Warren County High School. Thank you so much, Grace, for being here. Tell us about you.
Thank you for having me. Hi, my name is Grace, and I'm Miss McMinnville Teen USA, and I'll be competing for the title of Miss Tennessee Teen USA in Tunica, Mississippi in March. I'm joining the show today to talk about my involvement with Reduce TN Crashes.
Awesome. It's great to have a teen on the panel today to give us your perspective as well. And our final speaker is going to be Stephanie Scarborough. She is the manager of iCube at Tennessee Tech University. Welcome, Stephanie. Tell us about you and what you do.
Hi, Ariel. Thanks for having me today. I am a manager of the Reduce TN Crashes program. I work with a lot of different other traffic safety grants in our office, but very excited to be here with you all.
Awesome. We've got a great panel for you guys today. Very excited. So let's go ahead and jump into the discussion. Stephanie, what is Reduce TN Crashes?
Reduce TN Crashes is a program that is a traffic safety awareness and awards for high schools aimed at reducing crashes through activity and education. It's sponsored by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, and it provides education on the graduated driver's license laws and the state laws and safe driving practices.
So here what we're seeing on screen, this is actually the Reduce TN Crashes website. This is where teens will go to learn more information about the program. One thing that the THSO is offering is something called the Reduce TN Crashes Scholarship. Can you tell us about that, Stephanie?
Yes, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office has partnered with AAA, the Auto the Auto Club group for the second year. We're very excited to be partnering with them again. Through this program, one high school senior in Tennessee will receive a $3,000 scholarship. In order to apply, you must be a high school senior in Tennessee who's participating in reduced teen crashes and who demonstrate strong leadership skills, school involvement, volunteer and advocacy for teen driver safety. The deadline to apply is March 31st of this year.
Wow, so this means that any teenager who is currently involved with reduced teen crashes and who has previously been involved, meaning the past couple years, right? The past 4 years, if you've been involved?
Correct.
Correct. Okay, so those activities will count towards this scholarship. So we want any high school senior in Tennessee that goes to school in Tennessee, please apply for this. It's something so simple and something so great for your community that you can benefit from. So we encourage everyone, the website is right there, reduceteencrashes.org/scholarship. My goodness, guys. All right, well, let's get started. Let's talk some more about this. Stephanie, how do we get students to get involved? How do they get started with reduced teen crashes?
Getting started with reduced teen crashes is pretty simple. First, we like for you to activate your school for the current year, and that just is a simple uploading your school logo or uploading a school photo, and that just lets us know that you're participating. Then that allows the Reduced Teen Crashes team to send out an outreach kit for you. And the outreach kit is, it looks a little bit like this. So new schools who have signed up for the first time receive 2 metal signs and 2 banners. And then the educational rack cards that have the teen driver laws and the graduated driver's license information. Returning schools still receive something. They receive a smaller version of this kit. New banners if we have them, and then the rack cards and wallet cards as well. All of this material is sponsored by State Farm and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. We're very happy to have them as continued partners. We encourage schools to visit the activities page where they can browse through a list of activities that are sponsored through state and national partners. Once this gives them an idea of different things that they can do, ways that they can get involved. Make sure you take photos and videos of your students completing those activities because that's what you're going to use to submit points. Once you submit those points, you can watch your school climb the leaderboard. And so we have quite a few schools participating, but Cumberland County High School is at the top of the leaderboard right now. But through that, we do a statewide press release for at the end of the year. When schools reach the bronze, silver, or gold level, we do a statewide press release. Depending on how your school likes to celebrate, we come to your school, we'll do a virtual event. There are many different ways that we can celebrate you and what you have done. But this year, we're happy to kind of announce that we have an educational prize pack that we're offering for the 3 top gold schools, sponsored by State Farm. It'll include a lot of great goodies that your school can keep and use throughout the years.
This is awesome. So you're telling us that schools and teens can get involved in all of these programs and possibly win to be either bronze, silver, or gold, get recognized by local media. And guys, think about this for your teens. These are resume builders, really. All of the coordination and all of the planning and all of that you're doing to participate in these activities. These are things you can easily put on a resume or make it part of your college application. These are experiences that are very, very valuable for you to take on and carry later in life. And of course, you learn things that you want to pass on to others as far as traffic safety laws and safe driving. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for introducing this and telling us about the website. But tell us, how is Reduced Teen Crashes adapting to COVID?
So like everyone else, it's a little new for us, and we're doing the best that we can to keep up with all of the school ever-changing school requirements that are happening. But we have made a lot of our THSO and State Farm sponsored material available online. And so you can download that material, share it through digital screens. So you're not actually passing things out through social media channels, emails, however you're communicating with your students currently. We will basically accept any activity modification that your school has done. So if you come up with a creative way to share information, then that's wonderful, and we want to hear about it. And we want to recognize you for doing that. The activity partners are also doing a lot to maintain their activities. So either by offering smaller events for smaller sizes, virtual presentations. So they're adapting as well. So if you have any questions about the activities and how you can modify them or what the activities partners are accepting as acceptable activity, just email us and we'll help you work through that. So, and it's admin@reducetncrashes.org, and the email is up here at the top of the website.
Perfect. That's great. It looks like we're getting some questions from the public. So let's go ahead and see what we've got here that we can answer. All right, from Rhiannon Chambers, she wants to know what is in the prize pack. That's a great question.
So the prize pack consists of Fatal Vision goggles for your school. It's the Fatal Vision alcohol goggles. It comes with a backpack. It has a lot of different things to help you with the activities. We do have some additional promotional material, sanitizing wipes, and some sanitizing wipes, stickers, those sort of things that you can share with your school.
Oh, great. That's awesome. Okay. It looks like we have one more question. Okay, let's see, from Beth Vernon. Can you give an example of an activity by a school or a suggestion, please? That's a great question, Beth. And we are actually going to segue into our next speaker, who is going to discuss that with us and answer that exact question. So first, Stephanie, I want to thank you for explaining everything in detail as you did. I encourage everyone to go on that website, reducetncrashes.org. Also, Reduce TN, this program is about adapting to you as the team. So if you come up with new ideas and you have something you want to do that is not on the website that relates to traffic safety, reach out to us and we'll help you do it. Because we want creativity, we want innovation, and we want everyone to be actively involved. All right, well, thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
She's going to pop off because she's part of our production team. So she's behind the scenes now, but thank you again so much. Let's see. Oh, we got another question. Let's go and throw it up on screen before we segue. John Platiero, how would high schoolers that are homeschooled become involved? That's great. Let's bring Stephanie back to answer that. That's a great question.
Hi. So yes, we would love to have your homeschool involved as well. So just sign up as you would. You'll need to create a school name, and we probably have to add you to the system for that. But just whatever your homeschool name is, whether it's your last name, and so you can get creative with that. But yes, we will still support you in your teen driver education and making sure that your drivers are fully prepared. And if they're going out and they're doing things in the community that's wonderful, or sharing things with their community partners, we want to support that as well.
Perfect. That's great. Awesome. Thank you, Stephanie. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Let's see. So Reduce TN Crashes, as we've learned, it involves a variety of traffic safety partners. And one of those partners is the Tennessee Trucking Foundation and their road team captains. So we have a road team captain today. Robert, what is a Tennessee road team captain?
Thank you again. A road team captain is a person who is selected by their company to represent their company and represent the state of Tennessee and travel around to schools and senior citizen centers and even elementary schools to provide programs to especially teens who are just getting their driver's license, and teaching them about being on the on the road with big trucks every day, because 1 in 4 vehicles on the road these days is a big truck.
Oh, that's very important education for people to have, because like you said, there are a lot of tractor trailers and semis and those large vehicles on the road, and teens, because of lack of experience, they don't have the experience driving around them. And I know we call this, these blind spots, the no zone. Robert, what is the no zone and why is it dangerous?
I think we have a graphic to put up. There's 4 no zones around a truck that, we're sitting in the cab of the truck, and these 4 no zones, we can't see very good because our mirrors are trained to go down the side of the truck to look at the back of the truck. And traveling on the roadway, you can see that, especially on the passenger side, there's a real big no zone on that side that we can't see you very good over there, if at all. And there's a smaller one on the driver's side of the truck, and of course, the one behind the vehicle is, if you're riding right behind the vehicle, all you're doing is seeing a rolling billboard. So if something happens in front of me, then I have to slam on my brakes, then there's a big possibility you can run right into the back of me.
So then it's probably important to have a safe following distance. What would that be, Robert?
5 to 6 seconds is a good following distance, and a lot of people don't know that you can, when the back of a semi passes something, or any vehicle passes something on the road, you can pick a road sign or something on the side of the road, and when that vehicle passes it, you just start counting down, and when you get to 5 or 6, that should be a safe following distance for following anything.
Awesome. This is great information that teens should have. So tell us, Robert, how do you educate teenagers through the Reduce TN Crashes program?
We have a PowerPoint presentation that we go to schools and put on, and we also take those on truck and trailer to the schools when space is permitted, and we walk the students around the truck and show them where the no zones are at, and let them climb in the truck and look out the mirrors to see what we can see inside of the vehicle.
Awesome. And I'm sure that this presentation itself is something that teens can request through the Reduce TN Crashes program. So if this is something that you want at your school, you can receive points if you go to the website and request someone like Robert to come out to your school for free to do these sorts of demonstrations. Thank you so much, Robert, for that vital information. We know that highway safety, is a big part of what you do to keep you and yourself safe. So I think that, 2.5 million miles that you've driven safely without a crash. Is that correct, Robert?
Yes, and kind of put that into context, that's roughly 100 times around the equator driving a semi without having an accident.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and shift to that law enforcement perspective. Let's get some information from Jesse. What do you, I got too ahead of myself. Why is it important for school resource officers to educate teens about driver safety?
Well, it's very important. One of the things we do as SROs, we work off the triad system, which means we are informal counselors, we're educators, and we're also safety consultants, which has to do a lot with law enforcement. We often interact with the children through these THSO programs. We encourage them and we help keep these kids safe as they learn to drive, and the innovative teaching methods, and we communicate very memorable life-saving messages to them.
So your school resource officer is somebody that teens can go to try and learn about traffic safety and highway safety. What are the biggest problems with teen driving?
Some of the biggest problems that we see as far as distracted driving, a lot of cell phone usage, a lot of speeding, erratic driving, not wearing their seat belts, just an overall lack of experience.
Yeah. Well, don't you have a story? Tell us a story.
I've got one story that's pretty unique. One of the most recent crashes that I've been at with one of my students is she was driving her vehicle with her animal in the car, which was a cat. The cat got underneath her legs, distracted her, and she ultimately had a crash.
So really, people don't really think about that. That's very common in the South, right? To have animals in your vehicle and to travel with them, whether you're a teenager, an adult, or an older adult. And I mean, that's something that can be very dangerous we don't think about. So what should you do if you have an animal in your vehicle?
You should keep them caged up in a box or some kind of carrier in the back or in the hatch of your vehicle where they can't get to you as a driver.
And I know we can probably go online and buy a little kitty car seat and strap them in if we need to, but we want to make sure that our animals arrive alive just as we do. Grace, what about you? What do you think are some of the issues with teen drivers?
School, some of the biggest problems is distracted driving. Whenever we think that we can just look down at our phone for 5 seconds and then we look up and we have no idea where we're going to end up. So it's important to focus when we're on the road and to not look down at our phone or even put makeup on. It's good to just have that mindset that you want to get home to your families.
Good, awesome. On the road, and you need to prepare ahead. Make sure anything you need to do, your makeup, setting your GPS, responding to a text message or taking a phone call. We want to try to do that prior to the drive or pull over to a safe parking spot, a legal parking spot location where you can handle that. Let's talk about reduced teen crashes, Jesse. How do you get teens involved in those activities?
One of my programs that I do at my school and some of the schools in Cheatham County is like a click it or ticket safety study. That's where we get the teens from our SAD clubs, our HOSHA clubs, or kids that's just needing some community service hours for their scholarships or Tennessee Promise. They come out and help me do a traffic study, and we observe how many people are wearing seatbelts. And oftentimes, if they're doing good driving behaviors on our campus, we often give them Smarties as a smart reward. And if they're not doing such a good job, we often stop them and give them a dummy sucker and often tell them why they're doing what they're doing is bad, so they know.
That's great. So of course you want to get a Smartie, not a dummy, right?
Exactly.
That's great. There were some other programs that you guys do, the Prom Promise. Can you explain that to us?
Prom Promise is also another program put on by the THSO and Reduce Tennessee Crashes. It's a program that interacts between your SROs and your students that are going to prom. They have to make a promise, obviously not to do anything risky behavior during prom or during or after prom, and they can win some prizes. We often have a lot of banners up around the school, infographics on our TVs and such.
Yeah. And I know teens will often say, you tell us what to do, but you don't explain why. And they feel confused as to why they have a law enforcement officer who's trying to reinstill these things into them, and they don't understand why it's important. So how do you resolve that?
Most teens are visual learners, so they need to see, to experience that, and to learn about that. So oftentimes we will bring things in from the THSO or Reduce Tennessee Crashes, the seatbelt convincer, or the Drive Alive simulators to let them experience those things. Great.
And we all know that the seatbelt convincer can be requested through Reduce TN Crashes. There's a picture of it right there. So if you go to our website and select this as an activity, this is something you can get points for. So as you see, we have all of these people who are actively involved, who want to help our teens, who want to get them educated. And there's a variety of ways to get those points. So teens, get out there, get on that website and find some things that you want to do, that you want to get involved with. Thank you so much, Jesse, for sharing that with us. And I encourage all of our teens to seek out their SROs. Robert, you had something that you wanted to add.
Yes, going back on what Grace had to say a minute ago about looking down at your phones and putting on makeup, or looking at your phone, messing with the radio, anything like that. That 2 to 3 seconds that you have got your eyes off of the road at 55 miles an hour, you've traveled the length of a football field already without knowing what was going on around you. And traveling the length of a football field without watching the road, really dangerous. That's where a lot of crashes come in, when people get distracted.
Very true. Very true. And people don't realize that. They think that that one glance down at your phone is just a moment, but it only takes a moment for something fatal to happen, like that crash. Thank you for sharing that. Grace, let's talk to you. Why are you passionate about teen driver safety?
Ever since I was born, my dad has been involved in law enforcement, and he is a Tennessee Highway Patrolman. And through that, I've heard many stories about the crashes and how devastating they are and what the tragedy it leads to the family. And so, with me being a new driver on the road, I also see it with my own eyes. And so, I thought to myself, how could I increase the knowledge of something that is so important to me? And with that, I met with RC Christian, and we got to talking, and I came up with my platform, Teen Driving Safety. And with that, I have the program with Reduced Teen Crashes at my high school, and it's been really successful, and I can see the impact it's making at my high school as well.
That's awesome. We're throwing up some photos right now of some of the activities that you've done. So it looks like we have Blake McMeans. Do you want to talk about that? What kind of impact did you experience with that?
Yes, Blake McMeans came to our high school and talked to the 10th graders, and he's such an impactful person. He talked to us about the dangers of driving and distracted driving, and it's really important just to listen to someone that knows so much and is just wants us to be safe, and especially driving new drivers. It's really hard because you think you know what you're doing, but in reality, you don't, and you really need to practice being a safe driver before you get your driver's license.
Thank you for sharing that. You had previously told us about a survey that you conducted. Can you tell us about that survey?
Yes, so at my high school, I was trying to figure out a way that I needed to collect information so I could develop more activities at my high school that could relate to the students. And I came up with a survey and asked questions like, do you wear your seatbelt? Do you think they protect you? And one of the questions I asked is, do you know about the graduate driver's license? And 50% of the kids said they did, and then the rest said they didn't. So it's half and half. So that is something I really want to push in 2021, is getting more information out so it's really aware, and especially my hometown as well.
And I know you had told us previously that it was over 200 responses from teens that you got. And that takes a lot of initiative and leadership to be able to have passion about something and really try to seek out the issues and see how to fix those issues. So we definitely applaud you for your efforts, and thank you so much for sharing that. Is there anything in particular you want to tell us that you learned through Reduced Teen Crashes?
Yes, through Reduced Teen Crashes, I've learned that just being a safe driver, it takes time to be a safe driver and practice. And when you practice, it makes you become more confident as a driver. And I know when I first started driving, my dad would always ride me everywhere because he wanted to make sure I was being safe and I wasn't so stressed. But now I've been driving over 6 months, and I can say that I'm a confident driver, and I'm really aware of my surroundings and that what it can do if I don't practice being a safe driver.
That's awesome. You talked about 2021 and some plans that you had. So tell us, what are your plans to promote Reduced Teen Crashes and teen driver safety in this new year?
Yes, in this new year, it's very different because we're going through a pandemic at this moment. And it's hard to be in contact at schools when some of the school systems won't allow it. And so some of my plans for 2021 is to talk to our governor, Billy, and tell him about Reduced Teen Crashes, and maybe partner with him and get Reduced Teen Crashes spreaded across the state and let it become more knowledgeable to teens and how that they can apply to be at it. I also want to talk to my school director, Grant Swallows, and ask him if I could host some Zooms with the SROs and do activities through that. And I feel like that will be good at this time because it's really hard, like I said before, to get into schools because of close contact and mask and just the activities, and to be hands-on. It's a lot right now.
Yeah. And we've got to be creative and very innovative to try to come up with these new ideas. And I know everybody's scratching their heads because COVID is so unpredictable. So we just are really giving you all the kudos and really wish you the best in your dreams and your pursuits, not only in your pageantry and as your pageant career, also finishing high school. And just want to thank you for also pushing the graduated driver's licensing laws, because like you said, 50% of the 200 and so students didn't know. So that's got to be over 100 kids, 100 teens in your school that don't know anything about GDL, about the graduated driver's licensing law. So thank you again. This pretty much concludes. Oh, look at this. So we've got a special comment. This is the director of the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. His name is Buddy Lewis, and he says, "This is great information, and we at THSO appreciate very much the panel sharing this info, their time, and their commitment to saving lives." Thank you so much, Buddy. We really appreciate that comment and appreciate your support. So as I said, this concludes today's episode of Talking Traffic Safety. I would like to thank all of our special guests that participated today. We had Corporal Jesse James from Cheatham County Sheriff's Office that talked to us about the SROs in his program. Robert Moxley from the Tennessee Trucking Foundation. Thank you so much for teaching us about the no zone. Miss McMinnville Teen USA, Grace Sparkman from Warren County High School. I got it right that time, Grace. Thank you so much for being here and giving us your teen perspective. And then last but not least, we had Stephanie Scarborough. She's a manager with the Tennessee Tech University iCube, and she's also in charge of the Reduced TN Crashes program. So before we leave, I just want to give each of you, oh, look at this. John Platero, we have a program to high schools that can be done virtually. The David Francisco website here, you guys can check out. That's great information. And I believe he's part of our Reduced TN Crashes program, is he not? I believe he is. So you should be able to see him on our website too. So, all right, everybody, shout out to John. He's wanting to help you out. Let's do some closing remarks. Let's start with Jesse. Tell us, what are your final words?
Thanks for having me today, and be safe out there, Tennessee.
All right, Grace, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Thank you so much for having me. I've enjoyed talking to everyone about the importance of being a safe driver. And I just want to conclude my statement with, make sure that you are being safe out there so you get home to your families and that you can go far in life and succeed.
Thank you for that. And Robert, what would you like to share with us?
Thank you again for having me. And like I said, the programs we offer are available to the Tennessee Trucking Foundation, and you can get with them, and it's all free to everybody.
Great. Oh, thank you, Chris Gilmore. He says, great job, everyone. Great job. Oh, Shandy, this was great. Thank you, everyone. Keep the comments coming if we've got them. Thank you, Tennessee Tech University iCube, for your work behind the scenes to facilitate today's episode. They're the ones that produced everything and made sure that everything ran smoothly. And so that's it, folks. Y'all take care and drive safe.